Hello and welcome. My name is Mark Hansen. I'm the BizCard Guy. This is the fourth in a series of video tutorials showing SBIers how to get audio on their website. I'm going to be moving real fast again, as usual. I have a lot of ground to cover, but you will be learning at the speed of sight, so I'm going to keep my explanations at a minimum because I'm going to be showing you how everything is done. What you're looking at here is my MP3 player, the way it is currently colorized. What this lesson is going to teach you today is how to change the colors of this MP3 player and how to get it ready so that it will work on your website. I'm going to work my way around from top to bottom, left to right. Each part of this MP3 player has a name. Left background is this part of the MP3 player. Right now I have it set at red. The left icon is white. The loader bar, as the MP3 file loads in, it loads in as red. The slider is green. The track before the MP3 file loads in is gray. The background here is gray. The text for the welcome message that I have embedded in there is black. The right icon is white. The right background is black. I have the hover color set at green. It used to be that the background changed to blue when I hovered over it. Now it's set to green. It makes more sense. I think it gives the obvious appearance that the player is going to start playing. I'm going to show you quickly that I did that, and here it is. When I hover over it, that triangle turns green. You click on it, it opens up. Again, the hover color turns green. So that's the way that my MP3 player now works. So I am going to show you the HTML code that will change all the colors, and there's a number of things that you have to do, and let's get right into it. I'm going to show you the code right here. Now don't let this code scare you. It's real easy to work with. There are 3 things you have to do to this code. There's a couple of things you may want to do to this code, but it's very simple. The red areas, everything that's highlighted in red, is where you may interact with this code. And I'm going to show you right first of all this area. I'm zooming in on, and what this is the 12 parts of the player. In this case, what they've done is they've shortened up some of the words, and I'll just go down and explain some of them that may look a little unfamiliar. The BG stands for background. The left BG is left background. Left icon, the right background. The right background hover, that would be the right background hover color. The right icon hover color, and the text and so forth, and then these get obvious and easy to understand. Now next to them is what is highlighted in red. This is where you change the colors. Now you notice here this is all C's. What this represents here, this is the hexadecimal color code system. And what hexadecimal means is there's 6, and it's a alphanumeric code. In some cases there are 2 letters, like in this case is FF, and then 4 zeros. Or the 6 zeros in this case represents black. Remember the left icon was white? Well, that's what white is. And on down the list. This is my right hover color. Remember that was green. So 00CC00 is a version of green. Now you might ask the question, hey BizCard Guy, where did you get these colors? How would you know what 00CC00 is, that was green? Well, that's a good question. Let me bring up a website real quick and I'll show you where I got those colors. After this video, I'll give you the URL to this particular website. It's a hex color chart. There's lots of color charts on the internet and you can find them. Let's zoom in over on this side, and if you look down, the 4th color down is the green I chose. I happen to like that green, and it was next to it is the hexadecimal call out 00CC00. Right up here was the red that I used for the left background and the left loader color. That's FF and a bunch of zeros. So whatever you decide on as a color for each part of the player that you want, well, that's the color then that you change. So you get the color. In this case, it was 00CC00. Let's go back to our chart and let's find that. The right hover color. So if you were going to change that, let's say that you were going to change that from green back to black, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now my right hover color would be black. I'm going to undo that because I want it to be green. So you get the idea. It's pretty simple. Whatever you want to change, you get the hex color code and you change it there. Oh, by the way, if you like the color scheme that I have set up, don't change anything and you're good to go. The next thing you may want to interact with are these 2 things. It's called loop and auto start. Looping is when the player plays over and over and over again. In this case, I don't want it to. If you wanted to change it to yes, you want to annoy people and loop it over and over again, you would just type in yes. Again, I don't want to do that. Auto start, self-evident. Do you want it to start the moment they hit your website page? I have no. I prefer to have control over the player. I don't want it to automatically start. All right, those are the two things that you can interact with. You don't have to. You can leave them the way they are if you like the settings. There's three things that you have to change. One is you have to replace the URL name in three places. If you look here, again, highlighted in red is my website name. Here's another location of my website name, and down here is the third location for the website name. Of course, you have to change it to your website name. The second thing that you have to change is the name of the MP3 file name. Whatever you named your Audacity file that you saved out of Audacity, whatever that name is, if it's Joe's Happy-Go-Lucky Welcome Message, well, that's what it has to be called. Those are the two of the three things that you have to change. The third thing you have to change is you have to remove 15 hard returns. Now, what are hard returns? That is what produced these new lines. Everything is on its own line here, as you see. If you start counting from auto start, you can see that there's what's called a hard return. That's what pushed this line down here. And then after the end of each one of these lines is a semicolon. Every one of them all the way up to here. If you count them up to there, there's 15 of them. You have to remove that. How do you do that? Put your cursor and insertion point here and hit your right delete key. You don't hit your backspace key. If you hit the backspace key, it removes the semicolon. You do not want to do that. You want to hit the delete key that removes the space from the right. And what's going to happen is this word or this whole line is going to move up to here. This is what happens. Watch now. I hit the delete key and it pops that line up. Now I would insert here, see that? And I would delete again. And I would move on up. Now start counting. I've already done 2. Click and delete, insert delete. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now, the reason why you remove those is that code, the way it was, will not work on a Site Build It site. There cannot be any hard returns in this code for it to work, so that's why we removed it. Now, this code is what you are going to copy paste into your Site Build It homepage. So just remember that, remove those hard returns, and I'll remind you at the end of this video. So that pretty much wraps it up for this video. You've colorized the player the way you want them. You have removed the URL names and that welcome message MP3 name. Oh, and by the way, it's very important that you take your time. You can watch this video over again if there's anything confusing, and be careful that you do not make any mistakes. I made a mistake the other day. I was playing around with this. I was changing some colors, and what I accidentally did was removed one of the quote marks that wrapped around my website name. All those quote marks have to be there. The only thing that you need to change is the names here, the URL names, and make sure that there's not any hard returns. Now, the next video, we are going to upload the components to the player that need to go to SBI, and we're also going to write the code and copy paste this code into a site builder, into your home page, so that this player starts working. So thanks again for watching, and watch the next video. There's also some important information going to be listed at the end of this video. See you next time.